The next thing that could create this scenario is, of course, certain configurations in the individual's chart. Maybe they have a harsh Neptune aspect involving Venus or their seventh house, which would kind of create a similar scenario where it's like, I think this is the type of person I'm seeking, but maybe one isn't fully acknowledging what is present, but rather just what they want to see. So that comes to mind. Maybe there's a Neptunian aspect, because some things is not always about your placement, but rather where you are in the journey. So simply put, if you are out of alignment vibrational, you know certain things that are established from within, where it's like, okay, you know to walk in this kind of line. This is the line for you. But when you're out of alignment, it's like, okay, maybe I'm seeking something outside of myself, or I had an experience that's like, oh, I need to seek this out. That misalignment can definitely allow you to attract something that manifests the full-fledged misalignment to show you.
They say the winter brings cold, but gold, I'ma find. Forever in the zone, just me and my lonely mind. I journal time to time, tell my feelings that I got this. Eternal sunshine, my memory bank spotless. Do this for the learners, chase a universal crown. Griots, poets that'll burn this bitch to the ground. Shorty, I ended, then I feel sinner. Miss Fat Booty, been a cutie. Friend Judy knew I had to bend her. These bars blazing as I'm stargazing. The more you know, the more you grow. Then eventually they start hating. I elevated the levels they couldn't fathom. The end is the beginning, the eve is in the atom. Mother just a brother from another space and time. That birth hip hop so I can kill you with the rhyme. Sublime, sight vision got me flying off the top rope. Took faith to listen like the second joint for Pop Smoke.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today we're going to examine what is possibly the most disrespectful response to a nice gesture that I've ever witnessed. But there's some things to unpack here. So let's get into it. Okay. Those of you who are always here know we've been consistently talking about Saturn and Pisces, not accruing negative karma for no reason, like having compassion. But I came across a post today that I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm having a hard time believing this truly transpired, but I'm going to go along with it. I'll just say here that one thing that you have to know about the last 15 years, particularly since Neptune's been in Pisces, is that fake news or people doing things to go viral, right? Making things up, all of that. Like, that's a thing. So one of the best ways you can focus your third eye is to be leading through life with the understanding that everything ain't what it seems. I got to question things. The next thing we always need is context. Homie didn't put enough context in the post. I follow him, so hopefully he does. But there's not enough context here to formulate a full understanding, but the optics look crazy. But nonetheless, we'll try to unpack this, and like I could definitely give advice on how to make sure that never happens to yourself. So let's check out what's transpiring here, and we'll come back here and unpack it. All right, so what we have here is a picture that the woman posted saying that this man is corny because he went out and got the horse and carriage ride. This is the text message he posted saying what she said: I'm sorry for leaving you. I feel bad, but I wasn't feeling that horse, and shit weirded me out. You're a cool dude, seriously, and you will definitely find someone who likes animals, but I'm not that girl. He then offers that, can I come get you and try again? No, you can't. God bless. Then this is another post that she posted saying, F this man. This isn't a Disney movie. Get me the F home right now. This is crazy.
I guess I just wasn't her type.
All right, y'all. So, based on what we just saw, that's the homie Cashflow Harlem. I've been following him for years. Very positive brother. Does a lot of informative things with hip hop. Give him a follow. But apparently, this happened to him. And as I said before, I'm a little surprised. But let's just unpack this, that this is true. One of the context that we need here is like, when did this happen? Did you do this on the first date? We just never know in this day and age. Let's say this was the first date. I think that's a little too much for the first date, but it's still, nothing about the gesture warrants that kind of response. Ladies, if you're out there, let me know, what's a nice thing that a man could do that would weird you out? That's part of the biggest things that's flooring me here. So let's just say it was the first date. I think all of us could say like, damn, homie, you're doing too much. Because when we're dating, I think all humans acknowledge this. It's this thing of like expectation that we're all trying to curb. We don't want to expect that if we do this, there's going to be a result. And then on the person on the receiving end doesn't want to feel like if I receive this or take this, that it means I'm going to give you what you expect. Things of that nature. So I think first and foremost, that's a good reason to never go overboard. When you're younger, this is a little harder to think about, but it's one of the beautiful things of getting older. So we want to establish here, fellas, or ladies, don't go all out on the first date. Anyone who has dated knows that word to Scorpio, 8th house, humans are attracted to some mystery. And I always tell people this. I find for myself that the best way to get to know someone is like peeling an onion, layer by layer. There's a fine line of not wanting to hide things, but not wanting to expose them too early. I think that's like the beautiful pull and pull. And when that's experienced correctly, it really adds to the intimacy. But I'm always giving advice to people, particularly, let's say, people with Scorpio energy. Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, possibly Scorpio rising. Their idea is that I want to penetrate as deep as possible, as fast as possible. And to someone with wisdom and love, that's like, slow down. You're setting yourself up to have to pump the brakes or a possible crash. So I hope that makes sense. So nice gestures, a desire for intimacy, closeness is all best experienced layer by layer, step by step. Now, the next part here, and I'm very curious about this because, like I said, I follow the brother. I have an understanding of like his character. The next part that we need context is with is like, what kind of actual female is this? And what initially attracted you to her? Based on what I know of his character and what he projects, I would think that he would seek out more of a mental or spiritual connection over the physical. But every man is different. But I got to tell you, fellas, when you kind of lead with lust or lead with the physicality, this opens you up to the possible letdown. So for myself, I feel like I understand myself well enough to understand quite quickly, right? It still takes time, the type of female that is for me. Energetically, temperament-wise. On my journey, I've always tried to be open-minded and be like, well, I don't want to say never, but through particularly Capricorn types, Venus and Capricorn, I've learned that like it's all right to have your standards and stick to them. If you can't meet the standard, well, this ride ain't for you. Doing that really solidifies some things. So I think that it's very possible that this occurred because possibly, one, he may have been leading with the wrong intentions, meaning that knowing that like, I'm not really seeking something emotional or spiritual or mental from this person. It's more so the physical thing. But then you you project that type of energy with your gesture, which can really create this type of scenario. Okay. So the advice here, y'all, is that when getting to know someone, particularly when you know yourself, you want to really establish what it is that you want from them. And then the word to Virgo, the reality is like, okay, what are they actually able to give me? What can they provide? Like, right? And that's gonna go to the character of the person. And obviously knowing astrology can really assist you in these matters as well. And then speaking of that, the next thing that could create this scenario is, of course, certain configurations in the individual's chart. We would first start with the natal chart, that maybe they have a harsh Neptune aspect involving Venus or their seventh house, which would kind of create a similar scenario where it's like, with my eyes or whatever Neptunian part of me, I think this is the type of person I'm seeking, but maybe one isn't fully acknowledging what is present, or rather just what they want to see. So that comes to mind. Maybe there's a Neptunian aspect in the chart. Transit wise, here's the thing, y'all. And that's why I say you could always reach out to me for spiritual consultation or even to ask a question. Because some things is not always about your placement, but rather where you are in the journey. So simply put, if you are out of alignment vibrationally, you know certain things that are established from within, where it's like, okay, you know to walk in this kind of line. This is the line for you. But when you're out of alignment, it's like, okay, maybe I'm seeking something outside of myself, or I had an experience that's like, oh, I need to seek this out. That misalignment can definitely allow you to attract something that manifests the full-fledged misalignment to show you. Now, this would coincide with like if there were transits in one's 7th house, 5th house, 12th house that's reflecting something to you. So just to hammer this home, like when you are in a misalignment vibrationally, transits can trigger circumstances that you attract a scenario that shows you how misaligned you are. In this case, this would be like, you have no business seeking out this type of person. Like there's something you should be able to detect or know that like, this isn't a tree to bark up. Okay. And mind you, we're all going off of what we saw here in these messages. This doesn't seem like a female who was ever sweet. That's what it seems like. But like I said, we just don't know. But this is fun to unpack. All right. So let's have a talk here. Have you experienced something like this? I asked before. What are gestures, particularly nice gestures, that someone can do that'll freak you out, turn you off, things of that nature? I'm about to go work out. Once I meditate, I'll give some thought to things like that, things that have turned my own self off, and make another video on that. But let's build on this, all right? So, y'all, it's my video for today. If you need a reading, check out my website, GeminiBrown.com. Check out my book, Astrology in the Matrix. Till next time, peace.